bot tier list is upon us. I know I was going to make a follow-up to the bug front tier list. Like, I said I was going to do it quick or something. That was a lie. I completely lied. So, here we are. Bot front tier list. Your one-stop shop, how to spill oil. Okay? Now, regular Liberator. Just like last time, C tier. I changed the terms up a little bit. I think the Liberator's mid against the bots. Honestly, it struggles. It struggles. Without medium armor pen, most weapons are already at a disadvantage on this front. To most people. Okay, I think light armor pen weapons, I honestly think they have more drip. So if you're a drip diver, these are already better. Anyway, Liberator Penetrator. Gonna have to give this an A. You really can't go wrong. Medium armor pen, low recoil, great weapon. Liberator concussive. I think we're gonna put this in niche uses. If you're a dedicated stun locker, that's right up your alley. Okay, the Star 52 assault rifle. As much as I love that weapon, because I love my Hellgast equipment and uniform, it just iron sights. That's already not good. Liberator carbine. Again, mid. Now, I know light armor pen is usually not what you want. However, I do think that the tenderizer is honestly not that bad in a marksman rifle role, okay? It doesn't have medium armor pen, but it can destroy devastators in 2 headshots. It's a very stable weapon. I honestly am going to give this a B tier. The Adjudicator. I love this thing. I think it's better than the Liberator Penetrator only because you can put your damage out faster. They do share the same damage per mag, but the Adjudicator can put it out just a little quicker. The Constitution's a tough one. I think there is like a niche use if you're trying to be funny, but it's really tempting to just throw it in garbage. But this is probably the one front this weapon's semi-viable, so we're going to put it in niche uses. Alright, our DMRs. I'll make this quick. Everyone knows where this is going. Now, I know what you're thinking, Mr. Strider, that should probably be A tier. I think the only problem is the mag size on it. I think you'll find yourself reloading more, but that's just me. Now, this is garbage. I don't care what anybody says. I think that that is the worst weapon in the game, and I do not recommend it. The Knight. I like the Knight, but this is not the front for it. This is garbage. The Sta SMG. I can maybe see this as some kind of like chaff killer, but I don't know. I think it's the same problem the Knight has. It hurts me to put these weapons in F because I like them, but they just don't. They're not made for the bots. They're reprimand. This is a weird one. I can see this going anywhere in the B to D tier. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could it be a niche weapon? You have to close the distance with this weapon. So if you have some kind of like heavy armor CQC build, I can see it being a niche use. But in a general purpose weapon sort of sense, I think we're going to put it at the top of C because it's medium armor pen. The Defender. Well, we'll put you down in garbage where you belong. Same with the concussive variant. Now, I'm only putting them there because, again, it might do more damage than the Liberator, but it lacks the scope to hit those precision shots. It fires slower. And again, this is a subjective tier list. You can obviously disagree. The Punisher. Gonna have to put this in niche uses. I think most shotguns on the bot front are in niche use. Except the Slugger. If you land your shots, this honestly is not that bad. We'll put it above the Tenderizer only for medium armor pen. Now the Halt having stun rounds, I think that makes it an A tier weapon. You can kind of go toe to toe with a Devastator. Once you stun lock him, you can run in for your headshot kill. Now Flame isn't great against the bots. However, just like all Punisher variants, it does have a you want to call it knockback, I'm going to call it a stun lock mechanic because you're going to keep shooting the poor bot till it's dead. So, I think we're going to go C tier. Breaker. It had its day in the sun back when the game first came out. Honestly, I'm going to have to say this is garbage against the bots. As is the Spray and Pray variant. Maybe I shouldn't call them garbage. Maybe I should put it as not nah, we're going to keep it as garbage. It's funny. Breaker Incendiary, I think same thing. Now, I know we just harped on a ton of the weapons, okay? Now we're getting into the good stuff. The crossbow, easy S tier. Utility, firepower, damage, stagger, drip. It's amazing. I would recommend the crossbow. Being able to close bot fabricators with it is amazing. Stun locking a Devastator. Hitting a Hulk from underneath if you have a really lucky shot. Great weapon. The Eruptor. We're going to put it slightly above the Halt, but I don't think it's better than the general purpose assault rifles. Only because if you're playing a higher difficulty, you're probably facing a lot more than a couple Devastators, more than the mag has. So unless they're all grouped together and you're stun locking, you're going to find yourself running and reloading, whereas with the Liberator and the Adjudicator, you can take cover and start popping the heads. However, the Eruptor is still a great weapon against the bots. The Punisher Plasma. We're going to put this in high B. It's satisfying. You can arc it over walls. I think it's an underrated weapon, and I think we need to see more people use it on the bot front because it has uses, but it's outshined by certain weapons. The Arc Blitzer. I'm like the biggest Blitzer defender ever. I love this weapon. However, I do not think this is the front to be bringing it. Now this might be some bias, but we're gonna put it right here. I know that that's really biased. If you're willing to get close and you land the shot, you're gonna stun lock, which is honestly impressive. That you managed to get that close, like a Devastator or something. I mean, if you wear heavy armor and you're willing to like run into places and go crazy, like this is not a bad weapon. This is an odd one. The Scythe is an odd one. I'm a laser maxer. I defend lasers. The Scythe is underrated. I know that it wasn't that great at launch, and I think it's overshadowed by like the laser cannon. But this is not a bad weapon. We're gonna put this in B tier, above the Tenderizer, only because it's infinite ammo and you can keep it on target easier. The regular sickle. Some people are adamant defenders of this on the bot front. I think it struggles only because it doesn't have medium armor pen. However, it is still a great weapon. I think this is top B tier. Let me just explain why. I know it's weird to see a light armor pen weapon at the top of a category. It's infinite ammo. The recoil's fairly low. And the bots do have a suppression mechanic. So you could just, start firing the sickle in their direction and they're not going to hit you. Or at least lower their chances of hitting you. And I think that gives it an incredible amount of versatility. Next up, the double-edged sickle. I love this weapon. This can be, again, anywhere depending on how you view it. And if you're willing to make the sacrifice for the armor. Now, I run this a lot with the flame resist armor. So I think this is an S. Being able to do all types of penetrating damage, especially heavy, if you are willing to just keep stimming yourself and overheating this thing, you can fight Hulks. And if you're really desperate, I mean, you can sacrifice yourself, you know, and look cool doing it. I mean, that's awesome. Our plasma weapons. I think it's obvious where both of these are going. I think plasma is phenomenal. I think that looks appropriate. Now, the only reason I'm not putting the purifier above the crossbow on this front is I'm sure you already know why. I don't really need to explain it, but I will anyway. The crossbow has utility. The purifier just hits hard. I think that's the difference between the two of them. I would much rather close a fabricator than just hit a bot harder. Because the crossbow shots, there's like no recoil, so a follow up shot is super easy. The torture. This is garbage against the bots. The Dominator. Uh, Now, I don't run peak physique much, so this would be like C tier. However, if you run peak physique, if you run peak physique, this does great. This is an underrated weapon against the bots. This is another one of those weapons that I don't think we see enough players using, which is a shame. So I'm going to give it the Shadow Strider seal of approval in A tier using peak physique. Now on to our handguns. I'll make this quick. This is garbage. I'm not even going to justify it anywhere else. We'll put this in C tier. Now, we're on to weapons that actually matter. Verdict, underrated. I think this is a solid B tier. I'm not really sure where to put it. I mean, I do love this pistol. I do find myself swapping to it a lot when things are bad. Put it above the Tenderizer. The Senator. This weapon's amazing. Drip alone makes it an S tier weapon, but I do think that as an S tier against the bots. Melee is already a niche use, so we're going to throw these in there. I think the stim pistol's a niche use. Being a medic is a niche use. The bushwhacker is garbage. Please don't use that against the bots, nor use the crisper. Grenade pistol, easy S tier. It's like it's a utility weapon. So I think if anything, it should probably go somewhere like here. I think that's appropriate. Now the Laz 7 pistol. This is a weird one. Just like the scythe, if you can keep it on heads, you'll pop them. And that does make it good. However, it's a little more difficult when you're fighting the bots, and it doesn't quite have the power per hit as the scythe does. However, I think it's an underrated weapon again. I know I keep saying underrated a lot, but a lot of these weapons are honestly not that bad against the bots. People just have their set metas and they don't run anything else. So I'm going to put this in C tier, above the full auto. I call it the G18 sometimes because it reminds me of one, but you know, the ultimatum. Some people think this is the best weapon in the game. Some people think it's garbage. I run it only because I don't trust a lot of the people I play with to handle stratagem jammers. So I usually will run this and knock out jammers or the odd turret if I have to, or if I have full ammo, I'll fight the Strider with it. But I don't see this as anything more than a niche use weapon on any front. And then we have the Loyalist. This is an S tier pistol. I'm going to put it at the bottom of S, only because 7 shots and a charge up for only medium armor pen. The Senator does have heavy armor pen, so I think that makes it a little better. Now we have our grenades. The regular frags. I'm a defender of the frags. I do think they struggle a little bit on this front compared to the other ones because most bots are medium armor. So I think we'll put the frags at the bottom of C for now. High explosives. If you cook these, they're great. If you just throw them, the bots are going to walk right past them. I think the high explosives are a B. Incendiaries. Sorry, fire. As much as I love you. I love fire, but it just can't do it. Impacts, S. Incendiaries. But the impact incendiaries, garbage. I can see a case for the stun being in a lot of locations here. Now that we have the gas grenades being as good as they are, I don't think the stun grenades do anything better than the gas on most fronts. But on this front, since gas takes slightly longer to affect the bots, I think this can serve a better actual purpose. So we'll put these above the frags in C. I'm a big gas fan, okay? However, it does take a little longer to affect the bots, but gas has unironically come in clutch for me numerous times because I'd like forget to switch the loadout or something coming back from the squids or the bugs, and it's honestly not that bad. I think this is a B. I would really recommend trying it if you haven't before. The Seekers, if you're throwing these at gunships, I think you're already in trouble because you didn't bring the right equipment to fight a gunship, okay? However, I mean, you can't actually really tell them where to go either. Like, you could throw these in the air and guarantee a gunship hit, but if you're just running from the bots and there's a gunship and a Devastator following you, it's probably going to go for the Devastator. So you didn't really solve your problem because it won't even kill a Devastator in one hit, I don't think. I don't really use them that much. I'll be the first to say it. I think they're kind of garbage. I think they're a gimmick weapon, if anything. I think we'll throw it in niche uses. I think we'll put it above the Liberator. Smoke grenades. Okay. Now, when the game first came out and we didn't have the right equipment, smoke was nice because it was one of the only good ways to break engagement, right? But, I mean, there's other grenades that can break an engagement easier than a smoke grenade. I don't really think the smoke is that useful. I mean, I can see some uses, I guess. I'll put it in niche. I can't make an argument to put it anywhere else than niche. Thermites, I honestly would put these in S. Thermites are incredible. There's nothing they can't do on the bot front. They're literally the perfect weapon. Factory Strider on you, flank it, get them on the brain. Hulk, throw it on the front and just run. It's gonna kill them. Throw them at your friends if you're sick of them. It's funny. You know, there's a lot of uses for the thermite. The throwing knife, again, I think a niche use, stealth, it's better than the smoke grenades. I'm sorry about that. Alright, here's our list. I think this is appropriate. I realize we put a lot of weapons in the C and B category because I think there are more standouts on the bot front over any other front. I think that's why the front lacks such weapon diversity. But I think that's going to be it for our tier list. I promise I will have a Squid one out soon, and I mean it this time, not like 2 weeks later. Alright, share the video, or don't, like, dislike, comment perhaps, and that's it.